What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Friday, August 25th, 2023, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. So, Donald Trump was arrested again yesterday. He surrendered to an Atlanta jail and he was booked. He was fingerprinted and given an inmate number, and then he was released on bail, $200,000 bail, and I think he has like 20 charges against him from Atlanta area. This is the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, and here's actually a picture of his mugshot. He posted on Twitter yesterday for the first time since his Twitter account was deleted, and I can't share that tweet on this platform. But it's a crazy situation what's going on here. This is the fourth criminal case against Trump. He's already been booked four times. Uh, I don't know how many charges he has against him, probably like 100 charges, all felonies. Absolutely insane, guys. He's got more criminal charges, felony charges against him than 10 OJ Simpsons. Absolutely crazy situation. But I want to turn your attention to a developing situation we have right now, and it's 12:07 p.m. Eastern time, and we have multiple nuclear bombers in the air over Texas and also over Kansas. We also have a nuclear war command and control plane in the air. So let me just show you guys what's going on. This is highly unusual to see this many strategic bombers in the air at one time, especially on a Friday afternoon. So we have two B-1 bombers flying near Dias Air Base. Okay, that's one of the critical nuclear war bases for the United States. It's a bomber base and it's a major nuclear war target. It's in Abilene, Texas. But there's two of these B-1 Lancers right now just west of Abilene, and they're just doing different loops here. And we also have a B-52 doing loops over central Kansas. Okay, and that one took off from Barksdale Air Force Base, which is the home of Air Force Global Strike Command. That's the headquarters for the air leg of our nuclear triad. So that's where the Air Force manages all of our bombers and also our ICBMs, which are controlled by the Air Force. Our Minuteman IIIs, our land-based ICBMs are controlled by the Air Force. So very interesting. Three nuclear bombers in the air. And then we also have this E-6 Mercury Tacoma plane doing loops right outside of Oklahoma City. And these planes are responsible for communicating with our submerged nuclear armed submarines. They can send out force direction messages, nuclear attack options, and also launch codes to our nuclear armed submarines, the Ohio class submarines. These planes can also remotely launch all of our Minuteman III land based ICBMs. Okay. So, very, very interesting to have all these planes up in the air. And yesterday we had a presidential doomsday plane that was in the air. It took off from Stratcom and it landed in Barksdale. Very interesting. And then at the same time, we had a nuke sniffer plane in the air that was doing loops over northern Minnesota. Okay. I think that's Duluth up there. It took off from Stratcom and it was flying up near Duluth, and then it came back down. Very, very interesting and very unusual. We also have heavy NATO reconnaissance in the Baltic Sea region. We have an RC-135 rivet joint, which is an ISR plane that just completed a reconnaissance route through the Baltic countries and northern Poland. We also have a P-8 Poseidon sub-hunter that just completed a reconnaissance route over the Baltic Sea. And there was also an AWACS plane in the North Sea between the UK and Denmark, okay, patrolling these waters here where we have a lot of pipelines. NATO has a lot of pipelines there. The EU has a lot of pipelines there. Here's a closer look at those flight paths of the RC-135 and the P-8. And what's interesting is there was a heavy focus along the Polish Baltic coast. The RC-135 did a loop near Gdańsk, which is a major port city for Poland. That's where NATO brings in a lot of equipment. There's a bay over here. The Polish Navy has their ships there. And the P-8 Poseidon subhunter was also focusing its efforts on the Polish Baltic coast. And the RC-135 actually flew into the Gdańsk Bay here, right outside of Kaliningrad, and it was monitoring this area. So I don't know if something was going on in this area that triggered them, and they were trying to patrol this area. You can also see the RC-135 was flying along the border with Belarus, flew into the Suwalki Gap. So a lot of reconnaissance activity in the Baltic region. And then also we have P-8 Poseidon subhunter doing loops along the Romanian Black Sea coast right now. And it's about to be, looks like, relieved by another one that's coming out of Sigonella right now. So they're maintaining a constant surveillance of the Romanian Black Sea coast with these sub-hunter planes. So that means that there's something going on here for them to have overlapping coverage like that round the clock. So very interesting and very concerning. And also we have some major breaking news. I reported on this a few days ago, but now it's being confirmed by the main Directorate of Intelligence of Ukraine. Apparently, Russia is planning another mobilization of 450,000 troops. Okay, so this is the official website of the Ukrainian GUR. That's the Ukrainian Main Intelligence Directorate. And I'm going to read to you what they say here. You can see the date, August the 25th. Kremlin authorities plan to send another 450,000 people to the war. The aggressor state is considering the option of conscripting 450,000 people into the army of occupation, and the process of mobilization within Russia has not stopped. This was reported by the head of the main Directorate of Intelligence of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, Kyrylo Budanov, in an exclusive interview with the RFE-RL project Crimea Realities. According to the head of the GUR, in the fall of 2022, the Kremlin regime was able to mobilize about 350,000 people. Everyone somehow thinks that they called and that's it. No, the draft in the Russian Federation goes every month. It is called hidden mobilization. There is such a term. From 20 to 22,000 are called up for mobilization every month. Now they are considering an option. This is not yet fully resolved regarding the draft of an additional 450,000, said the head of the military intelligence of Ukraine. The corresponding intention of terrorist Russia indicates the real scale of losses among personnel in the war against Ukraine, which the aggressor state is trying to hide. This leads to the following question: why such a number if the losses, as they say, are negligible? Well, you will see that the truth will be somewhere in the middle, explained Kyrylo Budanov. All right, so the head of Ukraine's military intelligence, Kyrylo Budanov, is saying that Russia is planning to draft an additional 450,000 men. Okay, so that is absolutely huge. And the Russian ruble continues to slide compared to the US dollar. Here you can see it's going down. Over the last 5 days, it's been steadily going down. After Russia raised the interest rates, it got a temporary bump. and now it's continuing to slide back down. So they're going to have to do another bump again, but it's not going to really help. I mean, they just raised the rates 3.5%, and look what it did. Okay, here's the past year, and raising 3.5% just bumped it just this little tiny amount here. Okay, just this little tiny amount. That's all it did, raising the rates 3.5%, and it's still going down. Okay, again, here's the last 5 days. You can see steadily going down again. And if we look at the last 5 years, you can see that the ruble now is almost as low as it was when the war first started. Okay, so it's not looking good economically for Russia. And, Putin is going to do something crazy, in my opinion, if the Russian ruble collapses and if the Russian economy collapses. And that could be why Prigozhin was taken out. If you believe that Prigozhin was taken out by Putin, it shows desperation. And if you believe that Prigozhin, faked his own death, that's a possibility also. I reported yesterday that one of Prigozhin's planes went to Azerbaijan, which is really interesting. And he was also listed as a passenger on the second plane that landed in Moscow. So just absolutely crazy situation. 450,000 soldiers potentially getting drafted in Russia. Multiple nuclear bombers in the air right now over the United States. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'll keep you updated. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.